This should be a very good series. Both these players are insanely talented, and if you look at the results overall, I think TaToH has 8 set wins over Sitaux in his career and only 2 losses. However, those 2 losses for TaToH came this year. So Sitaux has clearly risen up through the ranks. Sitaux clearly getting better and better, and so he could be a good match for TaToH today. TaToH playing as the Tatars, which is great if you have a map that incorporates the hill bonus. And obviously here in Acropolis, you've got a pretty massive freaking hill, so that's pretty good. And then you've got the Romans here for Sitaux. 5% greater efficiency on everything's a good bonus to work with here. And I think it's probably a pretty even matchup. Romans are going to want to play spear defense against scouts, play through their own scouts, and then play heavy eco and scorpions probably. But there's no guarantee those scorpions can work if TaToH's micro is on point here. So it definitely puts a bit more pressure on TaToH to get some damage done because he doesn't have that 5% bonus. But yeah, MBL, you played good here today, dude. I didn't watch the series against Sebastian, so I'm not sure how you feel that went. I obviously know what the scoreline was, but thanks for the games. Thanks for hanging out in chat. Thank you, the lumpy, bumpy, let me back up. The lumpy bumper. Thank you for the prime sub. And thank you everybody who's supported the stream today or is currently ignoring their family or responsibilities watching the stream. We appreciate you. I'm sure your family does as well. I would say it's probably going to be a scald opening from TaToH. What he might want to do, it's a little too late for this prediction, but what you could try is you could go archers and then play into scouts after that. Playing into archers against Romans is becoming a little bit more common because they're so happily going to defend with spears. But doesn't seem like that's the choice at all. I think originally Sitaux was probably thinking about taking the woodline at the bottom like everybody does. But this is a pretty big chunk of woodline by Acropolis standards. So he's just going to stay safe. TaToH's looking right now. And TaToH is expecting there to be a lumber camp somewhere forward here. Has not happened yet. But eventually this becomes an issue. So Sitaux will have to think about that. This is even good too. That's like, what, 21 trees? I guess TaToH's got 21 trees there. Got 17 there. Obviously, this whole woodline is way more important, but it's just more risky. Bill the Thrill says, my dog and I are rooting for TaToH. Well, your dog is rooting for whoever you are rooting for because your dog wants you happy, so he gets fed treats. But it's a Saturday, and he's a good boy, so he should get some treats. So make sure you do that today. TaToH lost scout HP to the TC there, which is pretty bad. You know the TC's up here. He saw straggler trees, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But strong start for Sitaux. TaToH maybe not warmed up yet. And stable will be on the way. And pretty clean build for Sitaux. And TaToH will pre-wall that wood line so it doesn't get too nasty. Has plenty of food left on the cows with that Tatar bonus. And drops the stable as well. I think the matchup's fairly 50-50. I haven't actually seen Romans and Tatars enough to gain a strong opinion on it. I've seen Magyars against Romans a lot. Actually, I've seen that matchup a ton. I think I've even seen Huns versus Romans a little bit more. So I find it kind of similar. The Tatars have a bonus that translates into making a lot of scouts, and then they'd like to switch into cav archers later. But I personally prefer the Romans because the Roman eco is just so smooth. I'm curious if Sitau's going to back off a little bit now that he sees walls and squeeze in horse color here. Because, well, hold on. He's bringing villagers now. He wants to tower. Did he know that TaToH's going to add scouts? Yeah, he does. He's gone really aggressive with spearmen here. And those villagers are walking across the map to tower TaToH's woodline. That could be a gorgeous tower behind the woodline there. So Sitaux not able to get any damage done with the army just yet. But that's only because there's walls. And if the tower goes up, TaToH could have some big problems here. Yeah, I think tech tree-wise, it's very even. TaToH scouts headed this way. TaToH might have seen movement on the deer. I think he's seeing the movement on the deer, and now he sees that Sitaux is there. Sitau's scouts are kind of out of position. TaToH's going to counter tower here. I still actually think this is okay for Sitaux, assuming his tower completes. If he loses villagers, it's not good. I don't know what's happening now. Sitaux needs to get... Oh, God. Oh, God. Hold on a second. I know, obviously, it's live, and I have to speed up. What percentage was this tower when he deletes this? This tower was at... Oh, come on, Tristan. Click. Okay, sorry. The tower's at 65%. I mean, I don't like the delete there. Personally, I think he maybe wanted to still have enough stone for another tower, which he now does not. He is actually mining stone at home, though, so that can be fixed. So with that in mind, it's maybe not too bad, and he can place a tower just out of range. And that's what he's going to do. But you still have to be careful. Sitau's scouts still need to be over here. Sitaux seems really indecisive on where he wants to go right now. And nice patience from TaToH, in all honesty. And that's going to be a villager kill. I would have liked to see Sitaux commit to that tower and just garrison it. But he didn't want to lose vills. But now he's losing vills anyways. Really shaky start. And the scouts ran into the town center. Sitaux! So it's really hard to understand this if you're not actively playing, especially if you don't play in high pressure situations like a tournament. But sometimes you just try and do too much. You try and get too crazy, and then you skip over some of the more basic things, and that is maybe what's happened here for Sitaux. Having said all that, he's Romans. He has more res collected. But TaToH does have 4 scouts that could move forward and kill some villagers here. And Sitau's villagers, we'll see what they do on the front, but TaToH could always loop back around to kill them. That villager has a death wish on the other side of the berries there. And that's another villager kill. So TaToH's killed 3 villagers. TaToH's going to kill 4 villagers. And TaToH does lose one of his own. But this can rattle you, and this can tilt you. Like, you can easily think, this should not happen. I shouldn't have lost 4 vills. So you have to push those thoughts out of your mind, focus on the task at hand. The spears are at home now for Sitaux, so that's looking better. Stone miners are walled up. That's good. He actually is going to need wood now more than anything. And now TaToH takes some hits. Because TaToH's tracking this army, and TaToH is also switching into archers. These vills are still here, by the way. Could build another tower. For now, the tower is just long-term delaying the wood, but even this isn't walled in. I would like to see this tower get walled in. Seems very scrappy right now. Kind of from both. Their idle TC times are high. They both need to get more of a feel for the series right now. So Sitaux just walked back to this tower and now is going back to the mill. I think he was worried about the scouts coming in. I think he moved them in because he lost track of these. Rooster says, tilt me. Believe me, brother, I tilt hard at less. Well, AoE can be really tilting. Because all the pressure is on you in a 1v1. There's no excuses. And TaToH loses his scouts to the TC. Oh my goodness. The TC actually hits for once. But it's also a really high pressure situation. Sitaux doesn't have a lot of wood right now. Actually, that's because he's building a house with 8 villagers on wood. Okay. Damn, TaToH's a lot of spears, though. TaToH has 9 spearmen. And that's because he foresees that Sitau's going to be producing more scouts, and he absolutely is. Guys, Sitaux is dropping a defensive tower just in case an army comes in. There is an army coming in from TaToH. And TaToH, with fletching now, can range Sitau's tower anyways. And TaToH will see the tower there. Sitaux sees the archers, and Sitau's going to move away from the stone. Has enough stone for another tower, which is really nice. But he probably needs to think about some skirmishers right now. TaToH always has a group of spears with every single archer group. Nice job from TaToH. TaToH might even consider armor on these spears here. He's not Romans himself. He doesn't get the double armor, but with this, how many scouts are being produced, I think it would make sense. Armor's on the way now for Sitaux. He'll send the Vils out to attack this. He kills one of the spears, and he can kill this as well. There's only 2 spears here. Nice clear up for Sitaux. And what he really needed was he needed to regain access to this area for the gold. So a tower can go up here now. This is going to be a long feudal age, so he's going to grab horse collar for any future farms. It's kind of refreshing when we don't see a single skirmisher. This is kind of nice. Spears and archers. The games are really aggressive, really crazy. Here comes TaToH. More spears, more archers. Skirms would honestly make so much sense for Sitaux. It's also wild how these Vils are just still hanging out here, taking some food. When you go forward with spears, you always need to have more spears. That's the issue, because you need defensive spears too. So TaToH right now only has, well, he has 6. They're not all in the same spot. Here come the scouts for Sitaux. But TaToH sees there's a tower now. And Sitaux sees that army. Sitaux wants to dive. That's a lot of spears from TaToH. Sitaux, you got to get out, man. I mean, am I misjudging this? I don't think so. He just was not expecting TaToH to have this many spears. It's not a common feeling. Another scout gets sniped. Sitaux backs away. But Sitaux seems pretty happy with the tower defense. How long do you wait to move down to the middle for wood here if you're Sitaux? And TaToH is just casually shooting down this tower. Sitau's tower is just not going to accomplish much at all. And TaToH's army isn't killing Vils, but he already killed villagers. He already killed 4 villagers this game. Sitaux placed a tower here, which is touching the TC just to protect farms, and now the farms on the backside are also delayed. Sitaux needs some damage fast. He'll find it. Look at that. Just swoops in underneath the tower there. We'll kill 1. We'll kill 2. I think you should kill all the Vils, but there is a spearman that's wedged in there as well, and the grouping is really awkward. Okay, well, he ends up killing 3 there. There's still plenty of potential for more. TaToH moves in. TaToH sees a weak villager, snipes it. Sitaux is bringing back more scouts. Sitaux needs a wood line right now. He loses 2 more Vils, and TaToH defends. And overall, TaToH is definitely in the better position. Sitaux is nowhere close to clicking up. He just hasn't done the damage he would have wanted with the scouts. And if TaToH can make Lancers, or TaToH can make Knights, he actually has a better eco for Knights. Knights underneath the towers would be perfect. Game 1, Sitaux has really tried to pile on the aggression, but TaToH's been able to counterattack well. He's been able to defend well. And Castle Age hits. Sitau's probably like, what? And Sitaux doesn't have bloodlines yet. Probably should play on. You probably know you're probably dead. You're not Twitch chat. You don't just GG right now. But you want to get whatever nerves, whatever frustrations out of your system right here. And maybe see what these scouts can do. You don't know what TaToH's going to invest into yet. Snipes the spears. Should be able to snipe that villager pretty easily. So she's dead as well. And TaToH's still camping so many of these farms with crossbowmen. Oh, God, and all the Vils in the middle got killed. There's 3 Vils that were still here. All get sniped by TaToH. And there's a Lancer for TaToH. There's spears for TaToH. There's going to be a gate for TaToH because he's going to quick wall like a god. Nope, never mind. I'm wrong. But he's still got spears around. He's camping underneath a tower. These crossbows are going to shoot so many Vils. And now is maybe when you can consider tapping out of this one if you're Sitaux. Just not the type of game you would have wanted. And we joked about it, but I really would have liked to see some skirms. Skirms would have been absolutely perfect at some stage. And GG, as Sitaux taps out. I mean, I just said it. I think Scouts was great. I think you need some skirms in the mix to deal with some spears, to deal with some of the archers. I think going full Scouts is a good aggressive approach, but if the opponent recognizes it and they make how many did he make? He makes 21 spears? Yeah, like until TaToH sees that you're adding some other unit, he's just gonna continue to add spears. 21 spears in a 24-minute game from TaToH is pretty incredible. And Tatars don't really have any unique bonuses for it either. It just suited the situation. I think it was a little bit hesitant there from Sitaux with the initial tower. I think that could have been better. I think economically, things were a little shaky. I just saw nerves here. That's all I saw. I didn't see it being clean. So he will have to fight through that. All right. So the Jurchens were released in the recent DLC, and it hasn't been a civilization that many people have been very excited about. Now, we have seen the Grenadier, we've seen the all-ins, we've seen the fast castle plays, we've seen the risky plays, but typically those high-risk, high-reward strategies are not going to be what someone like TaToH is going to do. Very weird generation here. The players are right next to each other, and the openings for the area in the middle are like right next to each other. And Sitaux finds this, and Sitaux was going for the Niaz build. The Niaz build. Oh, also, chat, can you please tell me what the score is in Niaz freaking Andy? I would love to hear that. So this is, on one hand, really cool, because I know what we're about to see. On the other hand, a little disappointing, because I was going to make a video about this on Monday, and I think it's really freaking cool. Guys, this is a build we saw Niaz do against TaToH, and TaToH had no freaking clue what was coming. I'm going to explain why this can work, all right? So, this is a 9-villager start, and you start with 2 houses in a 9-villager start. So the Incas don't have to build a house pretty much at all for a very long time. TaToH, I'm actually curious if TaToH expects this, because he didn't actually go out to wood yet. So if TaToH... Dude, does TaToH just straight up expect this? I think he does. Because why else would you not be on wood right now? But yeah, if TaToH were to move out to wood, you can't wall off your wood line because of the rocky terrain on this map. So everyone always goes out to wood, and then their villagers are exposed, and only Incas can make 4 militia and delay their lumber camp and all these things at this point. It's going to be 5. That's what Niaz actually did. It was a 5 militia drush. Even if you have loom, you can't deal with a 5 militia drush. This is so fast. This is so freaking fast. Also, TaToH won the first game. Sorry, I didn't adjust the scoreboard. Look at the wall TaToH has to build. This is sick. Oh, also, the colors are swapped, too. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're going to switch the colors now. So we have TaToH in the red, just like the first game. We have Sitaux in the blue. So TaToH finishes the lumber camp. The lumber camp has to be abandoned. And now the lumber camp is just being killed. And now TaToH's going to have to go build another lumber camp. Like, what is TaToH going to be able to afford when he's in feudal age? 6 militia now for Sitaux, who's still walking back and forth to gold. Now, I think you have to be a little careful, because if you spend too much food, you might never be able to go feudal age. But TaToH's going to want archers. And TaToH doesn't know what to freaking do about this right now. And that was the same thing that happened to TaToH. So lumber camps killed. TaToH making a decision on how much wood he has left on straggler trees, and can he get a barracks in an archery range. He only has 100 wood left on straggler trees. And now Sitaux kills another vill. And he's like, where are you going to go, bro? This strat's insane. This strat is absolutely insane. Yeah, what are you going to do? I don't know what to do. You gotta hope that he doesn't find you. TaToH sends 3 villagers this way. TaToH sending villagers this way. Dude, is he gonna build a sneaky lumber camp? Sneaky lumber camp's actually kind of crazy. There he goes. He's in feudal age. his eco's so inefficient compared to Sitau's, though. Like, Sitaux can Dark Age farm, whatever, doesn't matter. Sitau's eco is clean and efficient and working. And TaToH's eco is walking. Sitaux is checking this wood line. He doesn't see anything. And now he brings the militia here. And now he sees all these villas building a tower. Oh my god, a tower for militia. The tower's on the way up. Tower will complete. And the tower will help against the militia. I would just attack houses if I'm Sitaux right now. And then adapt in feudal age. Look at the difference in res collected. This strat's OP. This strat's insane. Because now you're essentially forcing TaToH to spend more wood on more houses. And Sitau's on the way to the next stage. Sitaux will be on gold. Sitaux has lots of farms. Sitaux has his berries. And TaToH doesn't have military buildings. He does have villagers in the middle on hunt. But yeah, he doesn't have a military building. He doesn't have eco upgrades. This is crazy. Look at the difference in res collected. Now, it's funny though, because if this was a 3-villager start where you didn't start with 2 free houses, you wouldn't see this. But it's because you have 25 pop space combined with the llama, combined with some very good thinking, but just getting all that free pop space means you can build the barracks right away with no immediate downsides to your eco. But it's still not an easy build to produce this many this fast. I wonder if we'll see man-at-arms now. Sitaux has 8 militia now. He produced more. He will obviously go for man-at-arms. I want to see man-at-arms and arson in the queue. He'll just take the tower down. Come on, Sitaux. Go for arson. He's going for a blacksmith, so he might go for armor. But arson to destroy the tower as well would be crazy strong. And TaToH's going to make some scouts. He's just gotten to a stable. Armor's on the way. Sitaux is man-at-arms. And here comes Sitaux. TaToH will try and quick wall this. But the eagle's there to block. And there's enough man-at-arms. Sitaux doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't even have armor yet. He probably should have waited for armor. But Sitaux tosses everything in. Armor's still on the way. He's killed more vills. Now armor's in, which is a little weird. You would have wanted armor before. Is TaToH dead? Or does clearing this give TaToH some hope here? He does have scouts now. And you could argue that was a bit wasteful for Sitaux, because that was a lot of army there. I'm definitely seeing, like, Sitaux today, he's trying to do a little bit too much. If he just waits there for armor, that fight goes way better. But he clicked the armor upgrade and fought before the armor upgrade. TaToH's been resourceful. TaToH's got the berries. TaToH's got the hunt. TaToH's making scouts now. And TaToH's got some chances. Jurchen scouts are solid. And now the villagers are exposed. But there is the spearmen for Sitaux. And still Sitau's eco is so far ahead. It's not even close. That's a sign of a good strat where you can have kind of subpar execution, but you're still ahead, right? And we see bad strategies with like amazing micro work all the time, right? So this is maybe in some ways the reverse of it. I think maybe it's a little harsh, but I was expecting this to be like 10 vills. He killed 4 villagers this game. He's lost 0. So my expectations are maybe a bit off. 5 scouts looping through. There's no spearmen here. So that's an issue for Sitaux, and he will lose his first vill. A nice shot from TaToH. And TaToH did squeak in double bit axe. TaToH really needs an archery range right now. And he's going to take that gold. Which is weird, because he's also taking this gold. That's super odd. So maybe TaToH's a little bit rattled right now. Double mining camp is kind of rare. By the way, I don't think Sitau's ever going to see this. He's never scouted any of this. So those vills are safe for the time being. And TaToH still no archer range, like we said. But he walls up the gold. The tower kind of protects both. And Sitaux won't find a lot more damage. He might be confused. He's expecting TaToH to have food eco. He just doesn't know it's out here. Jurchens. Mounted units attack 20% faster. So going scouts, going lancers, going cav archers, all these things feel very comfortable for them. I just missed it, but there was another villager kill there from Sitaux on some weak units. And he's going to produce more eagles, more skirms. Corbo, you can't get the eagle upgrade until Castle Age. We're still in feudal age. But eventually, TaToH could be up against Eagle Warrior. Now, I think TaToH picked the Jurchens because he wants Lancers. I think the Lancers can be insane. It was TaToH who first really brought Steppe Lancers into the pro meta. Remember, nobody made Lancers. Everyone said Lancers suck. And then on the biggest stage, up against Leary in the finals, TaToH picked Tatars against Aztecs. And against Eagles and Spears, went for Lancers. It was sick. And then every single time we were in those situations before with Lancer civs, everybody started to make Lancers. There was no balance changes. It was just the fact that TaToH showed the world the way. So I think TaToH expected Incas, but he did not expect this build. And he's still hoping to get to those Lancers now. Double tower, a lot of Eagle Warriors from Sitaux. Sitaux still only killed 5 vills. TaToH keeps it that way with some clicking there. Double tower is enough to force Sitaux away. TaToH did lose all of his scouts, though. Sitaux wants Castle Age. He sends his TaToHs up. He'll drop a market right now to do so. And now he goes for Arson. No, he cancels Arson for now. Okay. I actually think Grenadier would be the best unit for TaToH. Now, you can't counter raid with that. But double archer range, like basically Castle Age gunpowder, would be insane. They do lots of splash damage. They're very good against infantry. Is Sitaux about to dive? He's thinking about it. There's only enough space to hide 10 villagers here. TaToH house wall, nice play. Eagles and spears are being tossed under. TaToH's eco is still so weak in comparison to Sitaux's, but he will be in Castle Age in a moment. Sitaux needs another Vill kill. Gets it. The rest of the army's engaging. He's going to get another. Can he get another? He does get it. That's sick. Nice blocking there. 8 villager kills now for Sitaux. And TaToH's worker efficiency. Honestly, just look overall. Worker efficiency overall, 67% for TaToH this game, 73% for Sitaux. Last minute, 47 versus 74. So TaToH's eco, even if he's kept it alive, has not been great. And he's making Lancers. From the middle, double stable. He needs to kill a lot of villagers very quickly here. Now, Sitaux has chopped the woodline enough where he can actually wall this. You can't wall that rock terrain, but you can wall behind the rock terrain. And TaToH's Lancers have that one range. Sitaux can also wall his gold. Sitaux's losing that eagle, still has this army. Lots of defensive maneuvers right now. Wouldn't actually have hated a tower. See, it's annoying. The spears can't always get hits. If the micro is perfect. And TaToH's microing it really well there. Quick walls, not down. Lancers could get snipes. But in Castle Age, Incas also have the extra armor on Vills, which is going to help. And that's the infantry armor applying to the Vills. And now Sitaux is up. Sitaux has 12 spears. TaToH only has 7 Lancers. And one mistake and TaToH will lose his Lancer army. There's a Lancer down. Here, Sitaux is probably considering an engagement. And now TaToH drops the archery range. A really interesting game, guys. This has been fun. Very different. Different builds. And civs you don't see played here all the time. I just think Sitau's opening was so good at setting him up. Like, he's consistently had such a massive lead, all based on the first 10 minutes of the game. And now TaToH is just relegated to Step Lancer micro, which is really good. I think this is clearly what TaToH wanted, because Eagle Spear dies to Lancers. It's actually crazy micro. Holy crap, TaToH. Settle down. This could get fun. If TaToH can get Grenadiers as well, honestly, his army is way better. And Sitaux is also going for 2 TCs, so he's not going to have leftover food to make a lot of tech switches. I think there's a chance for TaToH to win this. Grenadiers are crazy good. Here's one. And he misses. But it's like throwing this bomb. These units look so silly walking around with their little wobbly bomb. Also, Sitaux still doesn't know that TaToH has a TC over here, so he will actually be able to take that middle golden stone anytime he pleases. It's kind of weird, but from Sitau's position, he probably should look because he hasn't seen a stable yet. The Lancers are going to go around the outside for TaToH. And Eagles are just hovering around now for Sitaux. Yeah, TaToH's adaptation is fantastic. His preparation and his adaptation is fantastic. Certainly agree there. But I think he needs to put his foot on the gas more than he is right now. I would need to see more army running up the gut. We need to see more Grenadiers. Inca units are really cheap. We've actually got Sitaux adding Slingers now. Does anyone know how Slingers do against Grenadiers? Because Slingers are supposed to be anti-infantry. I guess they're both slinging something, but one's a bomb and one's a rock. TaToH needs quick walls. TaToH gets those quick walls. Well played. Also garrisons the towers. And the Grenadiers are here. And they're doing their best to bomb down those pikemen right now. Garrisons for Sitaux. 2 town centers for him. 10 villager lead. This army gets pushed away, though. No real way to engage on this. And I just think Sitaux has no clue this is here. Hasn't even crossed his mind, despite not seeing the stables. TaToH will not be able to make a lot of army. With 3 town centers with this economy, he will not be able to make much army at all. Like, has he seen the Lancers come from this direction at all? What'll get wild is when Sitaux tries to build a TC with these vills, and then he accidentally runs into TaToH's TC. 3 Eagles are here to raid the wood line. Weak villagers from the whole game are in there. TaToH will just fight back, so the Grenadier can do some damage. The Grenadiers do friendly fire, though. It's funny, didn't they literally give this Civ a bonus for less friendly fire? They probably did that because they couldn't balance this unit otherwise. Like, there's no way that they came up with, like, let's give this Civ less friendly fire damage, and then they created the Grenadier. They definitely created the Grenadier, and then we're like, oh, we find that you kill your own units a lot. Let's find a way to tune that down. Oh, man. Big shots, big shots, big shots, big shots, big shots, dude. Slingers do nothing here. Slingers are horrible here. Mangonels are decent, though. Mangonels are actually decent. And all Sitaux needs is decent. He doesn't need clear victories in any fights with this eco lead. Yeah, that's why my thought process, as Sitaux is back in the wood line, Sitau's like, you can't have Grenadiers everywhere. That's why my thought process for TaToH was stay 1 TC and go full army, because I can't see a way that's easily countered. But now that he's committed to 3 town centers, I don't think he's going to be able to afford a ton. He obviously felt behind, and he needed to protect these vills. There's a lot of different factors in his mind right now. But Sitaux, nice raid. That's how you beat any strong unit that's slow, is you just use your mobility. Oh, man, I think Sitau's going to take this game. That was some dirty micro right there. Takes out TaToH's rocket cart. But the only thing that he's really missing right now is this. The second this gets spotted, he's probably going to be able to deal with it. And now he sees the Lancers. Okay, now he will find out eventually. Because those Lancers came out of nowhere. And he has army presence in the middle. So I think that house as well will tell him that there's got to be something over there. The Lancers get some Vil snipes. Well played from TaToH. TaToH's starting to get pushed, though, in the middle by Sitaux. I think Sitaux will probably drop some outposts over here at some point and find that town center. So TaToH needs to push back somewhere. TaToH's Grenadiers slice up the Eagles. He takes out a Mangonel, but then he loses his rocket cart. And TaToH's still just 17 Vils behind. He's just been so far behind economically the entire game. Yeah, there goes some units to investigate this a little bit. Makes sense, makes sense. But you know what else makes sense? A forward castle on TaToH's face if you take down this siege workshop. Yeah, I think the better play here for Sitaux is he splits. He attack rounds. Oh my god, he actually survives with all the mangonels. That's disgusting. I think maybe crossbowman would have made sense instead of slinger. But Sitaux has just been so far ahead this game. He has stayed ahead this game. The micro has been sick. And what a perfect response after the first game. Just don't kill your own castle foundation here, Sitaux. And there's a get out of my game castle right there. TaToH has to stop this, or he needs to hit the resign button. And I don't see him stopping it. Grenadiers come through. Monks convert some of them. Cav archers come from the other side, but there's still siege here for Sitaux to fire. There's still pikemen. There's still some slingers. TaToH's rocket cart is on the way, but the castle's at 75%. And the villagers are armored, right? So the villagers will actually survive, and Sitaux gets another kill. And the castle will go up. And the... Sorry, I was trying to time it. I thought the GG would be called. But TaToH fights on here. TaToH still hasn't been spotted over on this side. So there's some positives. But there's not a ton of positives, as this TC is going to be eaten as well. He's gone Cav archers now as his main army. But he doesn't have fletching yet. Like, Cav archers, he can't even afford fletching. Cav archers are not going to be great. And hold up. Where's TaToH going? Ooh. Okay. So TaToH's going to abandon his base, and he's going to castle drop Sitaux's. Pikemen underneath the tower on this side. And here comes TaToH with his Vils, and TaToH says, hello! I like this. I like this a lot. Villagers were just going to die at your own base. Might as well take it to Sitaux's base, and Sitaux's got to panic up his own castle now. He does have a lot of Vils around. The Cav archers still don't have fletching, so I think Sitaux should be able to complete his own castle. And he still can continue this push over on TaToH's towers. TaToH's only town center is in the middle right now. Sitaux still can't see it, which is hilarious. I think if he saw that, he'd just buy a castle and drop a castle there. Yeah, both players complete a castle. So it's castle v castle there. It's castle v nothing here. And TaToH's base is just getting absolutely massacred. This castle will actually be ranged by Sitaux's castle because of the Bodkin arrow upgrade. And now TaToH's getting fletching. It's just been so messy. TaToH has not been able to make the right decisions or get the upgrades he wants to get. I actually think the decision-making has been pretty okay. It's just been Sitaux's strat is sick. Sitaux has just made TaToH work so hard for everything. And Bodkin arrow now for TaToH. Obviously, when he clicked fletching, he was like, oh, didn't realize I didn't have fletching or Bodkin. And he'll complete the upgrade. Does Sitaux still not know about any of this eco? That's wild to me. And Cav archers microing for TaToH. This micro has been fantastic. Just one outpost, Sitaux. Just one outpost here, man. And Like an outpost near the house, like... But he doesn't need it either. He doesn't need it. He needs to continue this push. He needs to continue churning out vills. He's going to make some rams maybe to take this castle. He truly doesn't even need to find that TaToH eco. Everything else he's doing is just so good. He can pretty much do no wrong at this point. But with TaToH's vills showing up here, he might think that TaToH had TCs up there. But those were just escaping villagers for TaToH. And, oh, hello. Castle v castle. Again, Sitaux clearly noticed TaToH's castle and immediately reacted. This is definitely TaToH that started it. And TaToH calls GG because Sitaux has way too much eco, and he basically has no eco at this point. This is his only town center. He's losing all of his villagers here. Great game. I think that strat's insane. And I think we've now reached the point where Incas may actually be banned. I think when Niaz did it against TaToH, other high-level players were probably like, I'm not so sure it's that good. Maybe TaToH just got surprised. Now TaToH just got disrupted by that. And so in future sets in this tournament, people might be thinking, maybe we ban the Incas. Because what do, guys? You need to take wood. So what do? Do you get loom early? Okay, that works against 2 militia or 3 militia. I don't think it works against 6 militia. The whole goal of the drush is just to delay your eco, not even necessarily kill it. It accomplishes that. So, now I think TaToH should have stayed one town center. TaToH stabilized well, and I think he needed to go full grenadier, and he just didn't really commit enough. But still, the opening from Sitaux, he had a 1k res lead by the time they were both in feudal. You just don't see that. So, great strat there from Sitaux. Little French connection, perhaps. Niaz, just because Niaz showed it first doesn't mean that it was Niaz who came up with it. I'll probably reach out to Sitaux and Niaz later on and see. But that's a nifty little strategy there. Sneak vills early to get wood. I don't know, though, because if you sneak vills early to get wood, other aspects of your eco struggle. And you're still just going to be there, and you can just take out your lumber camp if you leave your wood. So, like, let me show you. This is only possible with 9 villagers start with Incas. Let me show you the build real quick. So you start with 9 vills, right? So because you have 25 pop space, you're never going to have to build, well, you don't have to build a house for a while. And you can just spend your wood on an insta barracks. So 3 villagers start, you have to build houses, you have to invest, you have to go for a lumber camp first, there's decisions. But this is instant. And then if you bring in the boar right away, you have the food. I mean, it is a really difficult build to execute on, but he's instantly making militia. So like, even if TaToH's going to wood now, the pain is coming, right? And the pain was freaking 5 militia before you're even in feudal age. TaToH's lumber camp got destroyed 2 minutes before this. Like, how early do you have to go to wood? I just don't know if there's a lot you could do about that. All right, game 3. Chad, I don't know if I ran ads. Can non-subs tell me, did you get ads? I might run, let me know. I just don't want them to come if this is at a really important moment in the game. We might run them in the Dark Age here, if that's the case. We got Ethiopians for Sitaux. Now, this was his last pick, and I'm kind of proud of myself here, because I was unsure what he would play on Arena. He pretty clearly chose this for Arena last pick against TaToH's #1 pick. And this is actually a super low stress environment for Sitaux. His draft was not built up to actually win here. This is a high risk, high reward, whatever he's going to try against TaToH's #1 Civ pick. If he loses, whatever, expected. That's okay. He still has his other plans. If he wins, it feels great. And TaToH has gone for the Cumans. His plan pretty clearly is going to be fast feudal into a second TC. However, TaToH likes to go tower rush into second TC because usually the way people counter him is we're about to see another chicken funnel here. But the way people counter TaToH or Cumans is by pressuring, and the tower rush gives them another thing to have to deal with before getting to your base. But yeah, chicken funnel, a couple partially built walls. Sitau's going to come in and he's going to boop these chickens. And the chickens are stupid and they say, oh, we want to run over there. Oh, but the only way to run over there is to go this way. Oh, be free, chicken, be free. Another arena game with chickens, another chicken funnel. Still very curious if the devs will ever change this, because on open maps, this is harder to do, and it takes more time from your scout. But on arena, it's not that big a deal. On arena, everyone's going to do this at this level anyways. As Sitaux comes back over here. Now, sometimes they will naturally slowly balk their ways to the TC as well, because they have a natural wandering range. So this natural wandering range ended up being right on the other side of the palisade. And there we go. And there we go. All right. Sitaux will keep doing that. TaToH, going forward. I was wondering if he would do this, but this is kind of a TaToH patented strat. He doesn't like to give up full map control and drop the 2 TCs with humans. He's going to try and tower rush. Sitau's map is absolutely insane. Back stone, back gold. Even the berries are super tucked away. Obviously, there's wood. So, I think that TaToH is going to have a hard time denying any critical resource here. And he will delay his town centers because of this. All right, people said they didn't get ads. I'm going to chance it here, guys. I think I ran them recent enough. I think people won't get them. Or should I just run them in it now? I don't know. I don't want to tab out and see like how long the countdown is until they... I think we just run with it. We'll see. Back stone, back golds. Sitaux also receives extra food and extra gold when he makes it to the next stage. But Sitaux is not going to build those walls completely. That was just for the chickens. And Sitaux sees the tower rushes on the way, and TaToH... TaToH sees the vills, and he didn't actually complete the tower because he wanted to be greedy. Oh, dude. TaToH gets punished. Those vills don't have loom. That was so smart from Sitaux. Because if TaToH builds a tower first and attacks the wall, then TaToH's through the wall later, but Sitaux can never do that. But he recognized that TaToH was just building it with one, and he had a little bit more time. This is interesting. He's going to go tower himself just to keep TaToH out. He goes for a market. He will go for a blacksmith. I think as long as Sitaux can get on mangonels as quickly as possible, this can work really well. And I don't think TaToH sees what's happening here. Nope, he does see it. Never mind. And now TaToH has decisions to make, but he doesn't actually have the stone for another tower. TaToH just got housed, so he can't produce that vill. I guess it's a good time to get loom. I think TaToH should just take the chickens in the middle and come home now, probably. Like, is he even going to have the food to produce out of his TCs? This is a disastrous eco for TaToH. Idle TC is going to be crazy high. And that's the downside of the tower rush. Like, what is this even for TaToH? Sitaux can just place a stone wall there that's not close enough to his initial tower. Yeah, this is like if I try a tower rush into 2 TC boom. Then I'm sitting back saying, like, why on earth did I try this? Oh, also, hello. Sitaux got a scout inside the walls? Was following that vill and TaToH had to save it? However, TaToH's scout is stronger, so Sitaux can't really do much. Sitaux should just trade HP against the scout. And Sitau's coming forward with vills. Actually, he might not want to trade HP. He might want to just take TaToH to the back corner and then trade HP. Or waste his time. You just don't want TaToH to notice this. I'd be okay with just taking the trade. That way the scout isn't as strong. I think it's ambitious to try and save this scout, especially against humans. Here we go. He's seen this main gold, and he sees this gold. So Sitaux obviously knows where things are. Sitaux needs to get more stone right now. Tatau will leave this gate, and now there's a castle. And Tatau doesn't have the stone for a tower, guys. Tatau doesn't have the stone for a tower. This is so smart from Sitaux. Now, it's really all in, right? He has nothing on wood. He barely has resources, but that castle sets him up to be in Tatau's base. Is it enough, though? Because what do you do after the castle? You break into the base, but with what? You can afford, like... This is like spending all your money on a really high-end sports car, but not being able to afford the gas to drive it with. I don't know. Not really the best comparison, but... Okay, 2 Shotel warriors. Wow, you're going to go 2 miles. I mean, Shotels they do hit pretty hard. But they will die to TC. And you can't go siege because he doesn't have wood. And one of those Shotels is already dead. Here we go. Let's see. Walls behind from TaToH. That's unique in case the units wish to dive through. And yes, Sitaux needs more on wood. He needs these vills. Well, they're going to be on food for now. So yeah, what are the Shotels accomplishing? They're forcing reactions. They're forcing idle time. If they get through, it's insane though. But now there's gates back here. And now TaToH's house walling. And the TCs are killing Shotels. Damn, that was sick from TaToH to wall behind. That was really sick. That is also a lot of idle time for him. So his eco isn't nearly as smooth because of the Shotels. And now a siege workshop for Sitaux. That's good. Yeah, I think that's the sign that you need to stop with Shotels. And TaToH might actually need to stop producing bills just so he can click up to Castle Age. Because he can see the siege workshop, right? Maybe not. Yeah, he can. So he's just got to... You already know you have a Vil lead. You should recognize your eco's way ahead. Get to Castle Age as quickly as possible. He's using the market. And he doesn't want to sell that stone, but he sells the wood and clicks up in... TaToH, you didn't click up. TaToH, you didn't click up. You queued up Vils. Is he missing buildings? Oh my god, he's missing a blacksmith. He's missing his buildings. Disaster. Disaster. Oh man, and now he's got the blacksmith. This is wasting a lot of time. And now the Shotels are attacking the house. Now there's a tower from TaToH to hold. That house is actually going down, I think. Now the mangonels there. There will be more mangonels behind this. The house is about to go down, guys. The house is about to go down to these Shotels. I think. It's so close. Bro, it went to like 12 HP at one point, but TaToH actually holds. And we now have a pause. Pretty intense times. TaToH still hasn't clicked up to Castle Age. That was really close. You could tell Sitaux just felt like if he stayed there for an extra second, he would be through. TaToH pulled an extra repair villager there.
Yes.
And, hold on. Sitaux says, they are bugged. Can you ungarrison quick? They are stuck. Ah, so thanks to E-Moment, and the units were frozen for Sitaux. He asked TaToH to ungarrison his tower because his units were bugged. And TaToH did, and then he fixed the units and got out. So, respect. The way to fix it if your units get stuck on this patch, by the way, is you press the stop hotkey, but they will get stuck sometimes. It happens after certain types of patrols for whatever reason, so... I don't actually know how to replicate it. I just know that my units have gotten stuck dozens of times. So... Well, TaToH wanted to build a castle. But that plan's out the window. Because where are you going to possibly build a castle? By the way, still has some villagers on chickens out here. Then he wants to go for knights. Knights is kind of tough to afford, but obviously could be a good move, and he's dropping stables. I think if anything, going to Lancers could be good, but he really doesn't have resources. Also, Showtails have 16 attack. They're okay against Knights. So this combo that he's gotten to is good, but Sitaux should really think about Monks at a certain point. Instead, he queues up another Mangonel. He's going to be on 5. All of TaToH's wood is going into repairing this TC. And all of his most of his farmers were on the front. There's only 3 villagers on food out here. And then he's got the chicken villagers out here, which I think Sitaux is certainly searching for. The forward castle was such a great play from Sitaux. This is so sick. You need hard commitment against the humans. This is amazing. Don't kill your own Showtails, Sitaux. He's ready for that TC to go down. He knows it's going to go down. Showtails are so weak to TC fire. But okay, TC will go down. Now there's another TC. I think Sitaux needs to resist the urge to dive in here, because you need to always protect your Mangonels. You cannot separate from your Mangonels, Sitaux. Yeah, he sees the Knights now. Nice attack rounds. This would be a good time for a Monk. I don't think TaToH is enough. Showtails will wreck the Knights, right? They have 16 attack. I think TaToH's desperate right now. I think TaToH's absolutely desperate. I don't think he's taking a Mangonel. He's not. Damn. Sitaux. With Ethiopians on arena, Showtail warriors and Mangonels. What is this? Infantry hype, and TaToH with his #1 Civ is soon going to be... He's gone from 2 TC boom to 0 TCs. Monks will be coming from behind. They will heal up and be able to convert, but that was impressive, man. And it doesn't even matter if TaToH is eco out here. You can just straight up kill him now. But you have to be careful. See, he keeps wanting to go raid with the Showtails, but then your siege is exposed. Oh! No! No! Oh, man, the Mangonels were trying to retreat, and they stacked on top of each other. He loses 4. Oh, man. I mean, he's still in a good spot, I think. But it's just these freaking Showtails, man, need to stick with the slow Mangonels. It's not a common thing for a raiding unit like a Showtail to have to do. Well, now maybe Sitaux could start to think about a little bit more eco, but TaToH still has a nice villager lead. TaToH's villagers are getting sliced up by the Showtails, but the Showtails also go down. TaToH still has 62 vills. This is an amazing game. This is why people get excited for Tournament Arena. Gate opens, Showtail comes out, new TC for TaToH on a stone. TaToH adds a scout to kill that Monk. The Showtails aren't there in time. The Monk goes down. The Knight kills the siege. The villager that's here is probably going to die. And TaToH is still alive. And he house walls out the Showtails and lands a massive shot with the Mangonel. Wow. It's actually a crazy game from TaToH to hold from this. I thought he was super dead. Guys, all-in pushes with Monks and Siege. It's such a... The critical mass is everything, okay? So if you're pushing and you have a unit that protects that Siege and those Monks, you have to keep them all together. Because you lose 5 Mangonels, it takes you so many resources and so much time to get back to where you were. And to get there in the first place, it takes a lot of investment. This is not an eco that's going to rebound into a boom anytime soon. So that was huge. It's still crazy, though, because TaToH doesn't exactly have a lot of army. He's just producing vills. I think if he can get a castle and make kip checks, that can be a good option. But now here comes Sitaux this way to pressure. Sitaux's ram is backing away, and TaToH goes a little bit too far. TaToH will lose vills. TaToH will lose Mangonels. He loses 2 Mangonels. He loses some vills. He actually didn't garrison the 1 TC, so the Monk for Sitaux can survive. But I think TaToH and Sitaux are looking here, and the Knight gets converted. And now TaToH can't take stone again. And look at the vill count now. Count's much closer. Res collected still insane for TaToH, but res destroyed is fantastic for Sitaux. He's killed so many town centers, so many units. Surprise! TaToH thought that was a villager or one Shotel warrior in there. Nope, we got more than that. But they are just so weak. If they get hit by anything. It's a fun unit, though. They do a lot of damage. Ram will go down. TaToH will hold. TaToH got 4 relics in this monastery out here, guys. So those sneaky chicken villagers actually brought him some gold income. Which is pretty massive considering he hasn't had a lot of it. He actually just needs food income. And now Sitaux will just focus his pressure on this TC. I love the outposting from Sitaux, so he will never be surprised by TaToH moving out to another resource. I also like how he's still trying to apply a little bit of pressure to TaToH's main eco back here. He hasn't forgotten about that. Ooh, Shotels see the mangonel because of the outposts. Oh, the micro there. But there's a mangonel here as well. The micro needs to be good. Sitau's probably focusing there. The Shotels, can they take the mangonels? They will take the mangonels. That was really well done from Sitaux. And then he also takes the knight. That was really well done from Sitaux. There was a lot to manage there. Usually what happens there is TaToH's able to sneak a defensive mangonel shot to take these out, while Sitaux is focused on this. We'll have to ask Sitaux later. I wonder if Shotels was his initial plan. It felt like an adaptation. But what a good adaptation. Tower is down. TaToH can't take stone. He can't take gold. Only has those 4 relics for gold, and this TC could go down. TaToH converts the Shotel, keeps the monks alive. And then if he garrisons here, can kill the Shotels, because the Shotels instantly die to TC fire. This is so good. I'm impressed, guys. I did not expect Sitaux to be able to keep his eco rolling and make this much army. I thought that he would just stall out at a certain point. He's really building up the siege numbers again, though. He's getting back up to that 5 to 6 count. The only thing he's missing is an outpost to the left. The Shotels could take that monastery and then take those relics. TaToH can never rewall his base because of that castle on the front. And TaToH has more eco to manage, so it should be harder for him to mangonel micro here in theory. In theory! In theory! But TaToH is an absolute god! And TaToH takes out 3 and loses 1. And takes the Shotel. And can he defend here? He defends here. No way TaToH's still alive. No way he's still alive. What? He also just got enough stone for a castle. And will place a castle here. TaToH holding on. But he's been so good. And he garrisons again. He kills the Shotels. Oh, man. And now if this castle goes up, he can make kip checks. I think kip check is actually insane against Shotel. Because it's a ranged unit against a super low HP, super low armor unit. Castle has to go up, though. Sitaux can see that. But the castle's at such a high percentage, he knows if he dives, he'll lose his Shotel. So he will just continue to push the TCs. I mean, here's the positive. Kip checks are also low HP, and there's still a lot of siege. So you could also kill the kip checks. And that castle, it does protect this neutral stone, but it doesn't protect this TC any. Someone wants Sitaux to get royal heirs. Yeah, I mean, Sitaux getting 300 food and 300 golds would be a dream right now. I don't think he has the eco for that. But eventually, I mean, maybe that could work. Receive -3 damage from mounted units. I think the correct play is send some army back here and try and take out TaToH's farming eco. This is a really difficult area to focus on all the time. See, that's why. One misstep and you run into a castle now. But TaToH doesn't have his army here. He doesn't have his castle here. Oh! This is still open. TaToH is sending kip checks into Sitau's economy. I think there was like a house, there was a piece of wall that TaToH must have clicked with that tower at some point. And TaToH's going to be in. The Showtels, though, are slicing. TaToH needs to look back at his base. TaToH needs to look back at his base. He needs to garrison. He's lost a lot. Sitaux is actually building a TC. So it's okay. It's manageable. This is also manageable for TaToH because most of the Showtels have died. And then the siege took down the TC. And now they're... Dude! Now they're coming to the middle! And now the monks come home from Sitaux and converts the kip check. Sitaux is fine. Sitaux is fine. He probably needs to drop a house there again. Guys. This is danger. TaToH needs a castle right now, dude. There it is. Have you ever seen a castle so close to someone's back corner of their base? Probably not. But that's a good move from TaToH. And that actually stalls out the entire push. Well, except for this. This area can still be pushed. But that's not what Sitaux wants. Maybe that's what Sitaux needs, though. You never want to Mangonel push his siege workshop. TaToH should wait. Actually, stopping building the castle until he gets closer would be smart, but that's definitely a caster thing, not something that's actually doable. Yeah, house gets placed down there to block that off. There's still a hole here, which is hilarious. I don't think TaToH's going to expect there to be a hole there. I don't even know why it's there. I think, was that deleted at one point? I don't even remember. Yep, well, he just runs in anyways. TaToH's Mangonel gets sniped by 2 Showtels. Another Showtel almost gets the kill. And the kip checks are in, and the GG's called. Wow, what a hold from TaToH. Holy crap, that was a great game. Sitaux is nothing on gold right now, and he needs to move here for golds, and he can't pressure here, and he can't realistically pressure here. If he does pressure here, the Showtels die to the TC, and the Mangonels take out his Mangonels. He's just stuck at this point. And while I think Sitaux played amazing, and he won't have many regrets, I think that what he is going to regret is that one moment in the game where he lost 5 Mangonels to that one big shot. And it was just the excitement of, I'm into my opponent's base, let's go raid, that undid him here. Because, like, if he's just slowly grinds down TaToH's base, TaToH's got, like, nothing at this point. He's not on the outside. He isn't on stone. He can't get to a castle. But he went too far. And now he tries to go back. Even just this gate being here was really awkward for him. He clearly freaks out. He tries to go back. The attack rounds well onto that knight. But he has 6 Mangonels. And he loses 5, which was just crazy. Now, there was maybe other aspects of the game, maybe other moments, but when you're down by 30 vills, you just can't take losses like that. So I think the patient approach, just a couple volleys takes down the house, a couple volleys takes down the gate, and then he can just kind of take down everything. And then he's taking TaToH off gold, and then TaToH's got nothing on gold anymore, and then maybe he wins. So that's just how it goes. Great game, though. Great game. Really back and forth stuff. I think TaToH played amazing to come back. I also wanted to look, like, there was a wall here, right? Was there not a wall here at some point? No. So TaToH just realized that he could delete his palisades and run in at a certain point, which I would have never thought about. That was really smart. It was way later in the game, obviously. But yeah, at a certain point, he's like, oh, I could just break in. And he did. So game 4, a map I haven't casted in a long time. This is a bit of a throwback. This, I think, was first introduced into tournaments maybe 4 or so years ago. It's called Fish and Fish. On the outside, you've got fish, which importantly is on terrain that land units can walk on. So that's something to keep in mind. And then in the middle, you've got... Bro! It's not called Fish and Turtle. It's called Fish and Fish. What are we doing? I can't believe that. It's supposed to be shorefish. Whoever scripted this map clearly doesn't care about theming. But the map is called Fish and Fish. So we're going to refer to the middle as Shorefish. And obviously there's a lot of that. So if you can place a mill there, villagers on Shorefish, lots of food, can be very strong. Now, TaToH, taking a page out of Sitaux's book from the earlier game, and he will go for an early barracks, and he's going to make some militia here. Now, I like the thought process to make the militia early with the Wu, because you get a food boost when you build the barracks. You also build houses faster, so you can wait till the last second to build them. All these things come into play. I just wonder, what is TaToH actually aggressive against with the Vills? Because no one's going to be in the middle right now. So you really have to find their base. You have to find an area for damage. And it can be quick-walled, unlike on the other map. TaToH clearly is aware that there's 2 crocodiles in the middle, because he's avoided the middle for now. And Sitaux, he's trying to go for a very fast uptime. He's already building his own barracks, but he does not know about the militia. And he's clearly looking to see what TaToH's doing. Chat, I would absolutely love an update. This will be spoilers, viewers, just FYI. I want to know what's happening in the Heart Lucho series. I also want to hear what's happening in the Niaz Freaking Andy series. It may be over, and I may have missed it. But I would like to know how those sets went, if at all possible. So if games are still ongoing, you want to give me an update, that would be awesome. And then I can update the rest of viewers. Tyrannosaurus is Andy 132. Really? Really? Okay, and then Heart 131. Wow. Wasn't Niaz up 2-0? So we had 2 different reverse sweeps today. Yeah, I mean, there's clearly players with a lot of talent who can come up with some cool strats to get some wins, but getting that 5th win is tricky, man. Nice job. Really happy for Andy, really happy for Nikov. Lewis and Niaz will have their time. Hopefully they learn from it and improve. So, like I said, the build hasn't actually benefited TaToH a huge amount, because the militia weren't able... They were spotted because they ran into the house and the barracks, and they weren't able to really surprise Sitaux. But it's still a nice little early control here for TaToH. But now Sitaux has 3 militia. Sitaux's about to be in feudal age, and Sitaux's coming to the middle with Japanese. Very cheap for him to build mills in the middle here, and he could also go for man-at-arms. So TaToH has had to cut corners with his build order. His eco is less efficient. He didn't find a payoff, and now he's later to feudal age. This could be tough. And TaToH's just going to attack a house for the time being. It doesn't seem like he's really sure he can get a lot more value than this. And TaToH's actually attacking that Vil, and Sitaux is not garrisoned yet. And TaToH's like, are you going to garrison? And he does. And here comes the Japanese, very dangerous Japanese men-at-arms. TaToH about to be out of food underneath his TC. He has 2 Vils over here, which I assume are going to dock, but they haven't done anything yet. It's actually so nice, though, that he gets a food boost, because he needs the food right now. And on this map, you can have 2 villagers collect that food, and you can add fish. But I would say I really like Sitaux's position right now. And he's going to go for arson now. With arson, he can take down buildings pretty quickly. And I love the idea of just attacking TaToH's lumber camp. TaToH only has 4 Vils in this lumber camp. And then multiple are going to have to repair. So TaToH might not have the wood for fishing ships. And look at Sitaux. Sitaux's locked in. He knows there should be a dock over here. Your typical dock positions would be here. It's a bit uncommon to be far forward, but how thorough will Sitaux be right now? He might just assume there's no dock, but it would be the right play to probably continue to look. Sitaux has had a great game here. And he has archers already. And he finds the dock, so now he's aware. TaToH doesn't know if there's a dock up there at all for Sitaux. There is not, but he will add a fire galley anyways. Look at how bad TaToH's wood situation is. Not what he would want at all. Walking this far. Walking this far. He can't afford mills. He can't afford lumber camps. That will get better, though. Because he can now come back after the early archers. And there goes a villager from Sitaux. Probably about to dock, so he doesn't allow TaToH to fish freely. But the villagers on the fish are usually key on this map. And TaToH added a third militia. Will now go for men-at-arms. Maybe Sitaux will think that this army is kind of unhelpful for TaToH now. And maybe Sitaux will forget about that. And there's a spear and there's a scout from Sitaux on TaToH's vills. This villager's actually walking home, so he's not building a dock now. Yeah, so Sitaux does not have his army here. He's not expecting men-at-arms. He just thinks it's 2 militia. And it's Wu men-at-arms that regenerate. It's really strong. Scout is weak, though, so the scout can't really block. And if you commit with every single villager plus an archer or 2, this could be a good enough fight. It's not easy to do if you're Sitaux. He had decisions to make there. He could have decided to go home, but instead he's going forward. Sitaux will drop a tower, and now TaToH's dropping a tower. Both players panicking. They don't have armies in the positions they want. TaToH, will he get this tower up? He should, but he loses 2 villagers there. And guys, still not a single fishing ship. He just hasn't been able to get there because of how awkward the early feudal age has been. So it's just literally been a dock investment for 2 vills out there. That's not an ideal tower, but you can still build a mill and take way more food there. I think that's fine. You just needed to ignore this army. This army does slowly regenerate, though. So you need to be careful. Chat, stop correcting me. These are shorefish. The map is called Fish and Fish. It's not called Turtle and Fish. It's not my fault that the scripters decided to make it weird, all right? I probably didn't think about it until someone was casting and was like, hey, wait, those are turtles? Kind of interesting Sitaux doesn't have anything on gold. I guess he's expecting pressure from there. He is only going to make skirms, and he already got fletching, so he doesn't need gold for anything. But if he is docking up here, he's going to need gold at some point. And TaToH gets pushed off of his berries again. TaToH not a single farm. Sitaux with 5 farms, 6 farms already. And he can take his berries. And he's got the food in the middle. This is feeling like we're going to 5 games. TaToH's coming to the middle now. But if he gets spotted out there, he's not going to be there for very long. He might actually rush the tower right now. Just thinking about what he can do. If you rush that and bring all your army underneath it, I think you take the tower down, but it's extremely risky. Nice job from Sitaux with the sneaky dock, but he needs to be on gold. And now he's building an outpost, and he will not be able to stay in that area. I love this map. It's really hard to play. I think it's a really good map. Also love how TaToH's finally fishing, so he's fixed that. Sitaux's outposting with a weak vill, but he actually noticed. That's a great reaction time. Unfortunately for him, he loses the vill anyways. Where's the stone? Stone is here. Can't get that. TaToH can't get this. They're both really struggling. And TaToH has stabilized. Way more than I thought he would. Sitaux is badly housed right now. He actually lost a house on the shoreline while he was housed, so he needs to get 2 houses. If he was the Wu, like TaToH, he would build the houses way faster. Which is actually a pretty nice bonus. That's just a spearman on a fishing ship, no big deal. There will be fire galleys eventually from Sitaux. We'll keep an eye on that. Skirms now come over to snipe the archers, and Sitaux will hold. But Sitaux just hasn't been as offensive as he would have liked. That said, I mean, this is great offense. He hasn't killed anything, but he's completely kept his opponent off of berries. Surprised Sitaux doesn't have like 3 vills on these berries right now. It's really cheap for him to do so. But in all fairness, he probably should just be focusing on the fish in the middle for food. Does he see TaToH? What? Oh man, you gotta have town watch in these situations. TaToH is just freely taking this food. Probably a risk he's taking because he knows he's behind. That's crazy that Sitaux has no clue that TaToH's been there this whole time. He thinks he has the middle all to himself right now. And TaToH will back away with the man-at-arms for the 3rd or 4th time this game, and they will just regenerate. So if you do not kill them, they will become a problem later. TaToH's turn to come over to gold. Sitau's turn to be sneaky. Super, super sneaky. Also, Sitaux, double dock over here. Hasn't produced more than one ship, but he could. And Sitau's on the way to Castle Age. Here he comes. TaToH doesn't see him. And TaToH is off gold again. Just so brutal. Sitau's been able to track this army nicely. He's on gold. He's on the way up. Now, I know what you want to see, chat. I know you want to see more men-at-arms, and I know you want to see longswords. That is not what we are going to see. We are going to see knights instead from Sitaux. It just makes a little bit more sense. It's faster. You can then make scouts from it later on to snipe monks. And he only has one man-at-arm. It's not like he has 3 or 4. I think it's the right play to go for knights here. I actually wouldn't hate double stable. I think we'll just see all in. I think he's building the second stable now. I think it's a good play. This army will get killed off. Not so good if he wanted to go archers, but that really hasn't been in his plans. I think Sitau's got a perfect spot to win this game. You need... Honestly, he could patrol now and he'd win water. But war galley upgrade and patrol on water. And then double stable knights, add a monastery, add a siege workshop, full focus in the middle. Again, Sitaux didn't know until this very moment that TaToH's actually out here. TaToH's been out here forever. He took like 1, 2, almost 3, almost 4. He took like 800 food out here. Without that, I think this game would have been over already. He's been spotted now, and he's going to have to leave. And Sitau's still able to place mills on the new turtles. And knights are on the way. Fires are going through, so TaToH's villagers and fishing ship and fire galley could go down. And TaToH's army is going to get completely melted here. He's got 2 men-at-arms, and he's got skirms. There's no way that those skirms can hang around much longer. And Sitaux is just going to leave one knight to do the job. TaToH was wisely splitting them up, so they're not all killed. But Sitaux just wants to bring his knights forward right now into TaToH's eco. Yeah, TaToH got completely blindsided by the water, but in all fairness, he can't really focus on the water right now. He needs land defense. Because this is looking rough. Not sure about that for Sitaux. You probably can just let the skirmishers go, but that's why splitting them up like that is good if you're TaToH. You just harass. Having the leftover skirms is nice for any monks or any spearmen. So you don't want to just lose these if you're Sitaux. And he sees double monastery, so that will be TaToH's way back into this, is lots of monks. Wondering if we'll see elite skirmisher here for Sitaux with the monks being out. John Swordsmen also are pretty good against skirms, so it's kind of tricky. You can't get in close with your knights right now if the monks are behind, and he needs to fall back a little bit. Actually, he's going in where he thinks the monks are, and they're not. Now the monk is there. And... oh, TaToH! Oh, that was sick! TaToH's house means the skirms will all die, and his monks survive. That was huge, because he would have probably lost at least 1 monk. Maybe 2. TaToH's quick welding skills, man. Very strong. Let's not forget, I mean, it's fast, but Sitau's still got 15 villagers in the middle. So if he gets spotted at all, if he doesn't have control in the middle, this could become a problem. He quickly added 6 fishing ships, so his food eco is fantastic. And he clearly just wants to kill TaToH as quickly as possible here. TaToH hiding the monks inside of the town center, though. And he has 10 John Swordsmen. He hops out of the TC. He's back into the TC. He's out of the TC. He's converting. He's back in the TC. He forces a delete. The John Swordsmen are defending on the gold, and TaToH just holding on, man. That's crazy. That's really hard to do. And now this all circles back to what I was saying. This is why you add the stable. It's not necessarily the difference between a knight and a swordsman. That's part of it. But you need to be able to immediately get a counter to monks out. And that's what the stables allow you to do with light cav. I think also it might be worth it for Sitaux to just leave the middle right now. With some of these vills, there's a lot of activity. You don't want to fight before you have to. There are the scouts. No light cav. Sitaux has his own monks, though, and what does TaToH do about against that? Excuse me. Kind of difficult to say. Scouts will dive in. One monk is down. Another monk is down. All the monks for Sitaux can get conversions. And now the knights can come in. They're weak, but they're being healed. Nice job from Sitaux. Little counter raid from TaToH. Sitaux says, whatever. I'll lose vills. I just want to get that out of my sight so I can focus on the main fight. TaToH also has a knight up here, which is kind of random. Really smart. The knight to the gold, the knight to the water, not things that you would normally be expecting. But Sitau's still alive. And there's also hunts. I never mentioned this in the intro, but there is a lot of hunts on this map. TaToH's taken some as well. And Sitaux probably just needs the light cav upgrade. I would say if you castle the middle here, you're feeling pretty good long term. So maybe get a few more villagers on stone. His food eco isn't amazing. But TaToH's monk count is not really amazing right now. Samurai would be the go-to unit long-term for the Japanese. So, maybe even buying a castle. I think Wu do get atonement. Let's see. Yeah, Wu have pretty good monks. They just don't get block printing and heresy. So, atonement's an option for TaToH if he wants to convert the monks. Japanese also get that. And those fishing ships still will stay alive there for Sitaux. And he found the villagers on gold. We're going to a game 5. We are going to a game 5. Sitaux has been so active, moving in all these different directions with his armies. And TaToH was not expecting anything to be there. And sure, some monks are going to come over. Now there's the main engagement. Actually missed this. I think the monks all got some conversions, though. At least one was converted. Maybe... I'm seeing 3 dead Jean swordsmen, or 4 maybe. So it looks like he got conversions with every monk. Now as monks go into the tower, this is a big army from TaToH, and there's a lot of pikemen here too. Sitau's just going to buy a castle, I think. Also, Sitaux has 11 monks in queue, so buying a castle would be much easier if he cancels some of those monks. Bit of a panic queue up there. TaToH's eco isn't great. His army has to do it. Light cav goes down. Sitaux, can you buy a castle here? Get to Samurai. Win this game. Take us to a game number 5. Can you hold here? Again, I think a castle, like, right next to this monastery is fine. You don't need the shorefish anymore. This is pretty intense. TaToH's eco is so bad compared to Sitau's. Monks are still here to get conversions. He gets the conversions. He's getting the kills. He's even adding another monastery. He's just going to go full monks against this. Monks do very little of the pikemen. And if you convert the Jean swordsman, there's your answer to the pikemen as well. It's actually smart. He's being patient. He's just going to stop making knights. He's just going to go full monks. And there's the castle. Light cav, see a monk? That should be a dead monk. Possibly 2 if he goes to the right side. No. But the castle's up. TaToH's eco is horrible compared to Sitau's. But you could tell how dangerous it can get, right? Like, TaToH's never out of it. He's found decent ways to come back, getting good counter raids, and just stabilizing from rough positions. But now Samurai should shred, dude. Eco should shred. Or Eco should shred. Eco's important, yes, but I meant to say Samurai. Samurai completely counter everything but the monks. And TaToH's monks are not going to be something he can make forever. And he's losing them at quite the rate right now. Here they are, guys. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Say goodbye, Jean Swordsman. Say goodbye, Pikeman. 3 town centers for Sitaux. It's messy. He needs to balance out some eco a little bit. But he's taking some amazing engagements. And TaToH's not breaking him. TaToH doesn't have anything good going for him right now. He's going to try Cav Archers, which is actually very good against Samurai. And can be good against monks. So, you know, that's true. But as quickly as we arrive to the Samurai, we can just arrive into, like, Cav Archers or Skirms for Sitaux. Like, Sitau's eco is so good. Jean Swordsmen are just so annoying underneath town centers. They take so little damage. TaToH's done a great job at dealing with that. This is a little random, but TaToH's going to take that gold. So, he's certainly got lots of golds. But I think he'll be spotted eventually. And now devotion for Sitaux. He still has enough stone to build another castle soon. But he's just bouncing out his eco with the market a little bit. There's a lot going on. There's random units from TaToH just spread out, raiding in a bunch of different positions. So it's been tough. I think Sitaux is about to place a get out of my game castle to take us to a game 5. We've got villagers forward. Honestly, could be more aggressive, but you don't want to throw. And castle on TaToH's face. Villagers will definitely complete that. The buildings will all be taken out. And TaToH's Cav Archer switch just feels like too little too late. There are still annoying Jean Swordsman raids underneath the TCs. Like, these things are really tough to kill off. The TCs even have fletching. There's also raids from TaToH over here. So he is actually killing a lot right now. But the Samurai, which have arson, can take down the ranges. TaToH will need to leave. And TaToH cannot engage because of the monks. Satau is still probably fine. He will tower here because of these CA. Needs to garrison. He does garrison now. 1 range down. About to be 2 ranges down. Sitaux, your monks. Loads up a couple conversions. Yeah, just melt those ranges, man. Siege Workshop as well for Sitaux. He'll probably just mix in a couple Scorpions now. Having them around the map would be good. There's TaToH just casually getting a relic. Whoa. Did you did you see that? The villager was stuck in the middle of the CA, and they were just switching directions like madmen. That was crazy. Somebody clipped that. That was funny. Oh, you could tell Sitau's control grouped everyone there, based on the way they moved and the timings of the conversions. Yeah, he knows he can't lose those monks. Oh, Atonement just completes for TaToH. He gets 1 conversion. He actually deleted that monk? Why did he delete that monk? Did he think he was getting converted? Monks get ready to convert the CA. TaToH hears the noises. TaToH backs away. Sitaux, man, you can do this, my friend. Converts the monk. Still just got TaToH in so many different positions. TaToH is not giving up, man. And why should he? Cav Archers have proved to be a tough thing for Sitaux to deal with right now. And Sitaux has not killed him yet. This castle really just wasn't aggressive enough. The castle was in between the ranges. This TC would be down, and then TaToH is no town center. Maybe there's even a mental element. TaToH should be dead, but the fact he's still alive gives him some confidence, but I don't know if that even applies to these two. These two are just such a different level. A win's a win at this point. No stone income for Sitaux, so he can't place any future castles. Yeah, Sitau's got high idle TC time. There's all these stats you can look to. But if you have more town centers in a messy game, you're going to have more idle TC. If you have more villagers in a messy game, you're going to have more idle eco. All that stuff's expected. I can't really be too critical of how he's played. TaToH has just hit him in so many different spots. And TaToH really just doesn't have a lot of good things going for a situation, and so it's hard for Sitaux to really do damage to him anyways. Sitaux moving into towers is pretty wise. He has redemption. He wants that range. It doesn't look like he'll get it. Tower goes up for Sitaux. Still no stone income. Still not aware that TaToH's taking this gold here. And TaToH's going for a TC. There was a siege workshop for Sitaux that got spotted down here. Just think Sitaux needs to settle his mind and make something that can work well against the CA. Scorpion seems to be his answer right now. Certainly with the ballistics upgrade, that would be good. You gotta farm and think about imp eventually. Technically, with the army count, it is throwable. It is losable. And random scorpions around the map doesn't really feel too good at this stage for me. 2 scorpions down. Not a single cav archer lost. This tower doesn't accomplish much for Sitaux right now. He does still have this army looping around. He's making more siege. He's going to focus on this area. This is eventually a gold that TaToH will want. I just think Sitaux should just make his own cav archers. Like, make your own cav archers. Use the scorpions that you have now. Cav archers get through. Villager gets sniped. More of a push coming from Sitaux as he gets ballistics now. Damn. Can someone remind me what the final map is? I do not remember. If we get there, 60 villager lead for Sitaux tells us we'll probably get there. But yeah, that map will hopefully be... I'm now thinking. Oh, I think it's not Nomad. Okay. Or is it? No. What's it? Acropolis. Did they play Acropolis? One of those two. One of those two. Decent map. No, I thought they played Acropolis. They played Acropolis. Game 1. Yeah. TaToH 26 cav archers. Damn. When things get messy, guys, more TCs, more villagers, and just spam production of everything you can think of, right? That's what this is for Sitaux right now. He's going to be shocked to find a siege workshop in the back of his base. But he did find a stone somewhere, so that will be good. He can maybe trap this army. TaToH's making a mangonel now. And TaToH will take out a ram. TaToH refuses to die. TaToH still 3 TCs, which is way better than the situation he was in before. And he's killing off. He's done a good job at killing a lot of Sitaux's army. Can Sitaux run out of gold? Dude, Sitaux is out of gold right now. He has to come forward. And TaToH is on what should be his gold. That's crazy. That TC is also crazy. And also the cav archers going down is crazy. Oh, man, ballistics hits hard. But now the mangonel. Ah! Can TaToH win this? Oh god, the monks are switching sides on this side. Both players getting conversions. TaToH getting a lot of them. The TC for Sitaux is going down. But now he's tower rushing TaToH, and TaToH has no clue he lost 15 bills here. And Sitaux can then take that gold. This game is wild, dude. So right when you think Sitaux is losing units unnecessarily, it's because he's killing TaToH's units. And by the way, a lot of the golden stone is still in the north there. So if Sitaux remembers that, he can get some. What in the world? I'd love to see a guard tower upgrade here. Guard tower would be great. Not for TaToH, for Sitaux. He seems really hell-bent on making scorpions. But I'd love to see some archer ranges. See some cav archers now. When your opponent's already ahead in a certain type of unit, it feels uncomfortable to try and catch up, but when you have the eco lead, you can justify that. Does Sitaux know that he's ahead by 100 vills? Probably not. Because he's losing stuff everywhere, guys. TaToH might win this game. If Sitaux can't keep his mentals in check, TaToH can definitely do this. This little area has become so important. And Sitaux could lose a lot of army here if TaToH gets the proper mangonel hits. Sitau's going to drop a castle, though. But if Sitaux... Imagine if Sitaux loses the castle. Like, losing the castle would be crazy. Mangonel's out. Rams are getting attacked. Samurai won't take the mangonel. Villagers are blocking the mangonel. Rams getting attacked. Scorpions are getting hit. Mangonel's being repaired. Sitau's losing a lot of units. There's a Xian swordsman there. The ram's gonna go down. Now Sitau's gonna drop a castle. No! No, 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 no! No, no, no! No way. No way. The castle needed to be going up while everything else was happening. No way. No woo. No way. Shoo! Get out! Guys, Sitaux is crumbling. He has no gold. Those were his gold villagers. That castle's denied. TaToH's still in this. TaToH's just been winning fight after fight after fight after fight after fight. Sitaux needs something, and TaToH is going to rush down the towers with villagers. He'll kill his own villagers in the process, though. What in God's name is happening right now? Okay. Not a good time to be a villager. But the towers will get taken out. This tower will get taken out. This tower will get taken out. Guard tower is too late. And TaToH still has gold. Sitaux does not have gold. And forget what you see at the top, guys. Look at the game. Look at what is happening. Do you actually think Sitaux thinks he's still has chances right now? He's losing hope. He deleted that castle. Okay, he will place the castle there. That's not much better, bro. That's not much better. Sitaux. Oh, he's crumbling. Oh, man, the palms are sweaty and mom is very much spaghetti right now. Oh, man, this has been so intense. Does he see this up here? Can he think about this? There's gold up there. There's stone. Okay, he will notice that now because he just built a mining camp there. He didn't lose the castle. He deleted it. He's holding. He needs archer range units. That's all he needs is archer range units. And he's starting to make skirms now. Oh! Oh! Bro! Oh! It's okay, Sitaux. Breathe. Breathe. It's okay. Listen, calm down. It's not like the entire community is watching you. It's not like you've had a really big lead and you maybe should have won. Just calm down, right? That's what everyone's saying. Like, relax, Sitaux. Well, it only gets worse, guys. That's not how emotions work. The stress only gets worse. So, I kind of understand. Yasama's coming in for the towers, plus guard towers in. That's great. He'll clear this up. He'll be on the stone. He will find some gold. And he's holding this position. I know he will lose the town center, but that's actually fine. That's actually fine because TaToH can't take that gold. Maybe reclaiming this would be nice at some point. TaToH's vills aren't over there. And he may buy a TC. Oh, God. Okay, so he'll be back for some nonsense later. More towers now from Sitaux on this side. So he kind of has TaToH surrounded. Sitaux will win this game. This is an unthrowable game. No matter how crazy the nerves must be. I really think now with skirms, he's fine. He needed that mental click of, oh yeah, there's golden stone here. And then now I have faith that TaToH can't win this. Where's TaToH supposed to go? There's towers everywhere. There's TCs everywhere. There's going to be towers here too, assuming they go up. TaToH can't actually push this very easily. And Sitaux can afford to lose vills because he has 150 of them. And TaToH really hoping to take down this tower foundation. And, well, he will. He will take the mangonel, and he will take the scorpions. But he's losing vills over here. All these vills will die. TaToH's never been over 100. TaToH can't push this. TaToH's now out of gold, actually. Whew. But you know what I like to say? Or you know what I said? Like, this could build confidence if you're TaToH, that you should have died, and you held on for this long. It's impressive that this has become a game. He made it chaotic. And it just, Sitaux at this point probably just needs to apply that final blow. This is all doing just that. And yeah, GG. Holy moly. I got really concerned Sitaux was going to lose that. Oh, man. Because he played so well. He was so far ahead. He did all the hard work, and then TaToH's random armies. It's just always seeing another random red dot, a knight, a Jean swordsman, and then it was the group of cav archers. Just became so messy. I think Scorpions is what was the issue for Sitaux. They're just so slow. They couldn't keep up with them. Collected 64,000 more. He had 244 total villagers that game. Just because of how many vills he lost and how many he replaced. But look at the difference there. Yeah, and towers with upgrades was a great idea. So, scores 2-2. And we move into the next game. All right, now this map is called Not Nomad. But let me explain. So it's not Nomad. However, the TC positions are random, and the dock positions are chosen for you. So it's like Nomad with all the early parts skipped, okay? So yeah, the name of the map is literally Not Nomad. This is game 5. Their docks are right next to each other. Their TCs are right next to each other. This is absolutely insane. And they obviously don't know that because that doesn't happen all the time. So, what you'll want to do is you'll want to scout with sheep or pigs, whatever, to find the enemy. It's actually really important to see if the players will end up finding one. This is actually easier than Nomad because that villager on the shorefish is bringing you food, and then you have instant wood right away to get to that first fishing ship. At least that's my assessment. It's easier than Nomad. But in other ways, you get less information because you don't have the villager walking time, and you might actually have less sheep because of it. But TaToH's got sheep, TaToH's got sheep, TaToH's got sheep. And then there's only just this goat for Sitaux. But Sitaux will find this one. And then Sitaux will bring in the boar. And he is Mongol, so that's where the Mongol bonuses really start to shine here. Castle drop would be sick if they have the proper information. But I just don't think they have the proper information. The other thing is they're so close, they might be fighting over the same boars. This is a boar that Sitaux sees. That's a boar that TaToH sees. The TaToH brought his boar in earlier, so I think he will move out soon. But Sitaux is Mongols, so he might move out soon. They might actually go out there at the exact same time. By the way, I saw a really weird boar bug. I would love to show everyone right now. It was last night while I was streaming. Oh my god, here they go! 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 Holy crap, this is close. No, the boar moved! The boar moved! The boar moved! Which gives TaToH a very slight edge here. Okay, we will have tricks at play. We will have a gate, diagonal gate, house wall, market. No, oh man, I guess you can't mark it in the Dark Age. Wow, that boar moving benefits TaToH. And Sitaux is factoring that boar into his builds. And he can't see that. No, he can't see this boar. Damn. That's crazy. Chat, if you would like, remind me, I can show you the boar bug. You just have to remind me when we're not in the game, okay? Sitaux lost his sheep here. He obviously is going to know that TaToH's close because of that encounter anyways. And TaToH will know that Sitaux is close because of that encounter with the boar too. TaToH does not know where the dock is. And Sitaux does not know where the dock is. But obviously, whoever goes fast feudal here is going to have a lot of reward on water. And it seems to be the plan here for Sitaux. He's building the lumber camp already. But so is TaToH, so... I can explain what the boar bug was real quick. So we had a villager from red bringing in a boar, okay? Actually, I'm not going to go through the whole thing right now. We gotta talk about other things. We have to talk about gold positions, like where is TaToH going to take gold? He's not going to go this far. So TaToH will probably take this gold. TaToH found the dock, which changes a little bit. I think, actually, if anything, Sitaux is just going to bring his villager this way and find the dock naturally this way. But this is all better. TaToH has the additional boars, and then TaToH got the information ahead of time, and now there's no shorefish for Sitaux, so he has to actually walk back this way. By the way, I don't know who the scripter is of this map, but my feedback would be is shorefish do not spawn well on this map. There needs to be almost double, because right now Sitaux is looking, and he's not going to be able to find a shorefish. I saw this in multiple games. Like generally, you're expecting there to be another shorefish here. You drop the dock, but there's not one. So he just has to basically put his villager there, and now his villager can't work. No food underneath the TC for Sitaux. TaToH's still finishing a boar, and he's got a couple cows, and he's got the goats. This is good for TaToH. TaToH also will be Italian, so better on water long term, you would think. Mongols really shine when they have that hunt bonus to work with, so... Yeah, the shorefish is over here. So that villager will just be walking a fair distance. But yeah, just those tiny things can, play a role. So that's why I bring it up. Really cool map concept, though. The trend of multiple maps having not in front of it, like not nomad is a little confusing. Not Socotra, not this, not that. We're going to need a not tournament pretty soon. Sitaux is going to hard commit to galleys, which can win water if you have space and time, but he might not have space and time because TaToH is building a barracks. I'm actually a little bit surprised that TaToH's not going galleys. Once you get to like 6 galleys, you can start to focus down those feudal age fires pretty easily. But what makes the fire player have success is if there's anything happening on land at the same time. If the galley player could fully focus on galleys, I typically prefer the galley player. But Sitaux did probably the wrong thing with galleys. You really need to sit back, if anything, wait for the mass, then move forward. The fires need to be forcing the issue. But yeah, look what 4 galleys can do when you hit and run. You're not going to lose a fishing ship. You're going to take down the fire. So this is why I like the galley play. But galleys are a bigger investment. Okay, certainly at this point, Sitaux is going to know now. Sitaux saw a spearman, so that means a barracks must have been out there, and now he adds his own range. Very nice adaptation. You have to be careful here. If you place a forward tower, you can't place a defensive tower on a wood or a gold. TaToH is going to try a typical TaToH thing and make a demo and just wait for Sitaux to run by. I remember TaToH telling me in person, he's like, I think more people need to do this. Because, watch, the galleys are going to leave. Well, I guess it contributed to 1 ship kill. I think he needed more patience there. I actually really like the decision from Sitaux to add a couple fires now as a meat shield. And he will obviously be paranoid of another demo. That's what TaToH will try. TaToH's making archers. TaToH does see the range. Sitaux should stay far away from that dock. You should not be anywhere close to that dock. That's fine. Demo is very fast, though. Ah! Boom! For TaToH, dude, that was so sick. That was so sick. And Sitaux was definitely expecting something, but just so hard to react in time. It's also annoying, too, because you don't really want to repair your boats, you know? And now it affects your confidence moving in. TaToH's fishing ships are fine. His fire galleys are fine. But this is close, guys. Sitaux did a really good job. I didn't really highlight it, but he found some extra sheep. And he brought them in. That was really well played. But TaToH is more archers. TaToH sees that Sitaux needs these berries right now. And there's still the water to focus on. There is a demo in there. So that's why Sitaux backs away. Sitau's also trying to bring in a boar from distance, but he needs to defend. This is a really awkward position for Sitaux. He doesn't have fletching for his archers yet. He's not engaging on water. Villager is still bringing the meat back. And would Sitaux have been going for this if not for the first demo? Villager died, or not first demo, sorry, first boar. The boar goes back. The villager's dead. TaToH's playing amazing. He's just hit the timing so nicely. And he's got his fires ready to push as well. TaToH is just so freaking trapped here. He can't take his berries. TaToH's berries are right there, which is crazy. And TaToH's got those fires now. And now TaToH could have the edge on water. It's cheaper for the Italians to hit the next stage. So this should be better for him if they're racing to Castle Age. A demo from TaToH on the way. The fishing ship was microed there to block the demo. That was incredible from Sitaux. I thought it was a bug for a second and then realized he was microing that. Well played. And maybe TaToH could lose water, but now TaToH's killing another villager on the wood line, and Sitaux is just having a horrible, horrible, horrible time taking any resource right now, except for gold. TaToH is up. When they are this close, being in Castle Age faster has got to mean so much. 1 galley down, 2 galleys down. 3 galleys down! That's all because of that demo from earlier. And Sitaux is on the way to Castle Age himself. Really just needs to shift back to this woodline, I would say. And TaToH again! Oh my god! TaToH game 5! Another demo! He's insane. Expect it all you want. It's gonna happen, dude. It's just gonna happen. You just gotta switch your strat or something. Galleys don't work. Fires don't work. Your own demos don't work. It's so good. I actually know there's certain people who want the speed of demos to be lessened. And I have a feeling they play against TaToH in tournaments. Sitaux is really going to be in favor of demos being slower after this game. Well, TaToH needs the Siege Workshop first and foremost. This just feels like a crossbow mangonel type of situation on land. Obviously, Navy's good to try and disrupt fish, but Siege is everything here, and there's the Siege Workshop. And TaToH getting Bodkin as well. A little surprised to see Knights. It's hard to get value from Knights when everything's so close, but he might be doing so because it can snipe Siege, it can push skirmishers. The fishing ships are not really actively fishing right now for Sitaux, but he did save them. But can he save his army on land? TaToH is pouncing here. TaToH is Bodkin on the archers. Siege Workshop as well for Sitaux. And he could lose his skirms here. Great micro. Somehow killed off a couple archers there. We'll pull back towards his TC. He doesn't really have room to expand if TaToH's over here, though. And Siege pushing from the other side. With skirms, though, they were positioned perfectly. Right next to the TC. Just so much idle time for Sitaux. And now the Siege is coming. He's later to his mangonel. He drops a tower. Oh, this feels so bad. He has to try, though. He has to hold in some way. Tower right now feels a bit ambitious, but you can understand the thinking at least. If it completes, maybe that can be the difference between him taking wood or not. And TaToH will focus on the tower builds. There will be a mangonel that pops right now. It has to be perfect timing for Sitaux. There. Gets it. And now the tower can go up. And that tower actually contributed to him winning that mangonel fight. That was TaToH's focus. So TaToH going for a university now. And a stone. I kind of feel like... I feel that the clock changing. Time is going backwards. African DLC, TaToH spamming towers, guard tower. Why am I getting all these flashbacks right now? Arrow slits when it was introduced in the HD edition. I don't think this is for ballistics, guys. I think this is for guard tower push. I'm just kind of waiting to see if I'm right on that. It's cheaper. Margugu, stop calling me old. It's cheaper to do with the Italians. It would be very relevant here to deny woodlines and even just protect your gold. But it also could be stone to go for a castle. Sitaux not able to kill TaToH's fish. TaToH's mangonel and crossbows moving pretty far out here. I think he's expecting Sitaux to have expanded somewhat. Sitaux has not done so. Sitaux is still in this tiny little bubble. There's the tower from TaToH. So he's going to start to tower creep. Tower creep in towards that gold is his logic. So here he goes. Crossbows finding damage. I don't think Sitaux ever expected the crossbows to be there. He's micring here right now. And TaToH 1v3 takes the 1-for-1. Sitaux needs to realize that in garrison. That's actually kind of risky for TaToH. If that goes up, Sitaux is absolutely screwed. And it's going to go up. The monk gets sniped. The skirm gets sniped. And Sitaux taps out and calls the GG. Man, a heartbreaker for Sitaux. He will be able to play again in the next qualifier. It was a really good series. A very good series, but TaToH just able to get the win. This wasn't because of the boar, okay? It was a very even game. However, they both basically did the same thing. When they both made it to feudal age, they were going for the same build, same approach, and one person had more food underneath their TC. Also considering Sitaux as Mongols. How unlucky was this? I actually would like to look at this again. Like, if this board doesn't move to the north by 2 tiles, does Sitaux get it first? I think he does. Right? Let's see. I'm going to put my cursor where the boar is. I mean, that little 2-tile click movement actually helped TaToH ever so slightly, which is crazy. And unfortunate for Sitaux because that's his Mongol hunt. But yeah, that's just tiny little margins can decide a game. I think actually it was the demos more than the boar. TaToH had a really big edge on water. And then getting to Castle Age, it was just his Italian advantage. Cheaper to feudal, cheaper to castle. Big difference.